I kind of hope somebody takes it at this point.
Yeah, we always borrow Jessica's car when we go out to Colorado, and I'd like a new car.
Well, I'm in a rental right now. The car's getting fixed from the accident earlier this year. And it's a clown car. The top of my head literally touches the roof of the car.
The rental car. What happened in the accident? I don't think I knew you had an accident.
I just got rear-ended. It's kind of a crazy story. Do you want me to tell you while Ryan
Yeah, what are we starting?
No, I've been recording
Okay.
for a while. We just haven't said anything.
All right, Jessica, I want to hear about this
welcome
car
to
accident.
the episode 2 of the podcast. All right, go.
Well, now I don't know if it's podcast worthy or
Well, it better be.
real asshole.
There was a lot of build up to that, Jessica.
Person rear-ended me because we're going through an intersection and it's early in the morning, so you have that like sun glare, and a blind person is on the crosswalk, and it looked like another car was going to hit this blind person on the crosswalk. So she was very distracted by this other situation, rear ends me, but the blind person heard the whole commotion, so stuck around to be a witness for the accident. But
So you were in a car accident and your only witness is a blind person.
yep,
Tell me more.
yeah,
Jeez.
that's pretty much it. It was.
Were they a good witness?
I just.
How do they describe?
Did they hear what color the car was?
Luckily the lady that rear-ended me took all responsibility.
Well, that's really great of the blind person to be like, I'll stick around and help out however I can.
Call 911. Like she was amazing. But yeah, didn't have much more to offer. But the other lady that hit me definitely let her know, like, I saved your life. By hitting this other vehicle to stop that vehicle from running directly into you. It was definitely one of those mornings. And then multiple cops show up because they can't find who has that area. And
they were fighting over you.
It was
You just described this woman who hit you in a car and almost hit a blind person, and then proceeded to make it all about her.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, I just made all of your lives easier. Yeah, I know I hit your car. Yeah, I saved your life. Thanks, everyone. I'm the center.
You guys, beautiful connection to last podcast. This is the morning after the Super Bowl. Of course, my husband never goes to work the Monday after Super Bowl. So, and this is like 7:45 in the morning. So of course I call him and I'm like, I've been in a car accident. Get here immediately. Oh. He comes, and it's freezing cold in Colorado this morning. And so he gets into the passenger side of my car and he's like, you just can't let me have a me date.
That is true, Jessica. You're kind of like that.
A little greedy. But as I got to stay home that Monday after Super Bowl as well, because I got in a car accident.
Many people believe that the day after the Super Bowl should be a national holiday.
Sure. I mean, I can get behind anything that calls off work for the day. So.
All right. Well, thanks, Jessica. That was enlightening, inspiring, moving, all at the same time. Casey, you had texted me earlier that you wanted to talk again about the Oscars. Like, what's going on? I thought we covered it.
The Oscars are tomorrow. I know you've already forgotten, but they are tomorrow. So I wanted to check in on everybody's progress on their lists. See?
Uh-huh.
Well, I'll say this, Casey. I think that you've grossly misinterpreted my article about the Oscars. I was clearly telling people to watch. Right?
Well, good. And I just want to reinforce that they should watch.
Yeah.
Like you're just because I said they're garbage doesn't mean I don't want people to watch. I clearly said people should watch.
Oh, are you an anger watcher of the Oscars?
And I personally am going to try my hardest to watch. But that doesn't mean I will always succeed.
Well, I mean, you know that our generation really believes strongly in the Yoda version of it: do or do not. There is no try.
As the brilliant Theranos girl, right? That's her big thing. What's her name? Elizabeth?
Yeah. Are you? So, are you gonna watch, Ryan, or are you not?
Well, I don't know. You guys, were so kind of sold me on all the dresses and the fashion.
That.
If he watches for anything, it'll be the fashion.
It'll be the fashion.
And Amy Schumer this year. Let's not overlook the amazingness that will be Amy Schumer hosting.
Good reminder.
Well, doesn't Three Martini Solution have a Twitter account? Like, why are you not live tweeting this?
Oh, I can. I can live tweet it.
I think live tweeting like the red carpet, all the stuff that's going on, like.
Maybe I'll turn over the account to you for the night, and it could be Casey's.
Oh wow! Are you really?
I'll tune in.
Oh, that'll be fun. Live tweeting could be lots of fun. That for sure. Well, because so for me, the Oscars, it's less me trying to figure out the right way to do it, and I'm like, here's this thing that happens. I'm going to figure my way to do it, which may be the mantra for many things in my life. But I recognize that woman that hit you in the car. Like, I know what it's like to be a main character. I'm a main character in my own life. So I happen to live in upstate New York, where it is cold and dark in the winter. There's nothing else to do. The Oscars happen to be in the early spring. I get to watch movies all the time because there's nothing else to do when it's cold and dark and and that needs popcorn. I mean, to do all that. But and then I get to watch it on my couch in my most comfortable clothes. I'm not going to one of those parties where you have to dress up, like the things where they try to make it like you're at the Oscars. I'm like, no, why would I want to do that? Like, I want to watch it in my most comfortable clothes, on my most comfortable couch with whatever obnoxious snacks that I want to watch. And then I'm going to argue with every decision that happens from fashion to the movies that are on the screen. It's like, hey, supposedly, I mean, it is, I was reading like an analysis of like the anonymous Oscar ballots that the Oscar voters always put out, which is usually code for, I'm going to say some really obnoxious and inappropriate things because no one knows my name, which, anonymity on the internet is, classic for that.
I appreciate it.
You appreciate when people say inappropriate things?
No, just stay anonymous.
Yeah. Well, but so then they were talking about that and trying to stay and being obnoxious and saying, hey, I don't know, they were frustrated that ABC has supposedly ABC has forced the Oscars to remove 3 categories from the broadcast or whatever, and they're all up in arms. And basically their point was listen, it's supposed to be an elite event and we should do whatever we want and it's elite, and if ABC doesn't like it, then we should sell it to somebody else like Netflix. And I'm like, really? Is that gonna happen? Anyway, it's always which is another topic that we could discuss too, is that the idea in the arts that we are above this and then we forget that we actually need money to make it work. But that's another story. You can see some nods.
All right, Casey. So give me the lowdown. What more did you want to say about the others? You just wanted to check in to see how we're all doing on our Oscar list?
Well, yes, because it's really important that you guys be like me.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm exactly like you, Casey.
I watched King Richard.
What'd you think?
Okay.
I mean, it's Will Smith. So it's your classic Will Smith movie, and how do you not love Venus and Serena Williams? So it gives you all the feels. I thought it was cool. I love when at the end of those movies they show you the real life photos or the family videotapes, and you can see how closely they really tried to match it up. And I don't know. I thought it was a breath of fresh air versus the Tiger Woods story, where his dad was kind of a maniac, right? And with the young prodigy, this Richard seemed like a better dude.
True. I'm not sure I would want him as a father. I mean, he had his girl's life planned out before they were born, had it written out with his wife, and is this is what you're going to do, and I've already decided. I mean, he fiercely defended them, which, nothing for that, but wow, it was pretty intense. I mean, for me, I just realized I always knew Venus and Serena were amazing. But now I'm like, it shows you what true badasses they really are. Like, wow.
Yeah. Right.
And
Well,
they just,
they had each other in it, right? Like they definitely I didn't realize so much of their story and how young they really were when they started, and Serena kind of coming up in her shadow a little bit, and like so it was fascinating to see like those pieces of it. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you definitely need to find your own path as a kid. Certainly, that's my parenting approach. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad if my parents made me a millionaire at 15. I mean, slackers. I had zero ambition for me.
That's true. I think I've heard that quoted from them. We don't believe in Jessica. They're real happy with how you've turned out, though. You've turned it around.
Right.
Yeah.
Being a judge of a son, right? Like there were.
All right, Casey. And Jessica, I'll include you. So Casey also wanted to talk about soft serve and milkshakes. Now, I wrote the article that said, if you don't know where to get the best dipped ice cream cone, soft serve ice cream cone by like August, your summer's pretty much ruined.
It's the end of the summer in August.
Right.
Yeah.
And
right.
And I think it's a true statement. I know it's a true statement. I don't even think of it. But what did you want to say about it, Casey?
Well, because we have Jessica on here, I wanted to discuss like this East-West divide about the appropriate consistency for milkshakes, because as a transplant to the East, the way the East does it, I have serious reservations about it, because I think they emphasize the milk part of the milkshake, because if you can just pour milkshakes like milk, that's a problem. However, I do appreciate the East's love of soft serve. So there's like a soft serve institution like on every corner. Like if you are in the summer, you can find it, which is really, that's a big deal. But I have family members who have like a little mom and pop type thing, and there is like the little flavor squirty things that they do on the soft serve. But anyway, I wanted to discuss some of those things, like what's good soft serve, what's not. I know I read your thing about it has to be like the same thing, so you can do some sort of pseudoscientific study. I'm less concerned about that, because sometimes you need a Dole Whip.
Yeah, so it's the orange sherbet is the best soft serve. So that's the answer to your question.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone has. Does anyone have opinions on that other than orange sherbet?
Well, yeah.
Some people like
I think
this.
chocolate is the classic, right? And I think everybody has chocolate, cherry. Those are very common, and then peanut butter.
Are you
I've
talking
noticed.
about the actual dip
The
part
actual
or
dip.
the ice cream?
I thought you were talking about the dip.
Oh, I wasn't. Sorry. I was talking about just the soft serve part of it.
No, I think for the soft serve, you have to go vanilla or the vanilla chocolate swirl. I mean, once you have orange sherbet soft serve, if you try to dip that, that's crazy.
You're not dipping that. You're right.
You're not dipping.
You're just having that for soft serve.
Right.
But back west, milkshakes are much thicker. I mean, speaking as someone who grew up working at Baskin Robbins, I know
so an
how
expert.
to make them correctly. And sometimes even like we made them pretty thick, but people would ask for an extra scoop. And that was like perfect. It's perfect with the extra scoop.
Yeah.
Nice and thick. You need a spoon for part of it till it softens up enough for the straw. So good.
Yeah, right. I used to make them. I was a bartender for a number of years, and we'd make them in the bar, and from scooped hard ice cream. That's very important. The scooped hard ice cream, and it has to. You almost have to like destroy the blender to get them out. They should be that thick.
Yeah, agreed. The best milkshake at Baskin Robbins is a custom one I made, and this is a secret. Anytime you go to a Baskin Robbins, you get it. It's 2 flavors. You need it to be a mix between gold medal ribbon, just like ice cream with a little caramel in it, and cookies and cream with a squirt of chocolate syrup.
Ooh.
Best milkshake secret recipe.
Now, I know a lot of people would think, well, if it's too thick, then it's not really a milkshake. It's just softened hard ice cream.
And those people are wrong.
Yeah.
Or just stupid. I mean,
Okay.
they can eat whatever they want, but they're just not right.
Okay.
They just eat it being wrong.
They could
Which
eat it
some
being wrong.
people do.
I would say, I'll play devil's advocate.
Shocking.
I like it when you can actually suck the milkshake out of a straw, not a small straw, a thick straw.
Mm.
Right. So if it's
McDonald's straw.
no, I just Casey, I don't want this to be contentious, but if it doesn't come through, if you can't suck it through a straw, then it's not a milkshake.
Like a Neapolitan from In-N-Out. That is probably one of my favorite, right? And you can't suck that one through a straw.
There you go.
It's a milkshake, a Neapolitan milkshake. Oh.
Yeah, if you go to In-N-Out, just ask for the Neapolitan milkshake. It's delicious.
Do you have to say it like Neapolitan, or can you just say Neapolitan?
No, I like to add a little flavor to it.
Neo.
A little bit of style.
In-N-Out really like it when I say it that way. So.
Does a Frosty count as a milkshake?
Oh.
No.
Frosty's in its own category. Frosty's a Frosty.
But you have fries. Like, dip your fries in it.
You don't have to, but you should.
But it's really good.
I think it might be the only milkshake that like contains lard. I'm pretty sure that's what's in Frosties, and that's fine. That's fine. But I'm that's how it keeps its consistency, right? You can turn it upside. Yeah, it's the whole thing.
Yes, for sure they put lard into it. Or not.
So these are a lot of things that people like. The Oscars, the milkshakes. You wrote a thing about guilty pleasures.
Right.
Yes.
I looked up what guilty pleasures were because I was like, what are pleasures that I have that I feel guilty about? Not a lot.
Okay. Well, okay. So you looked up the actual.
But then, and I looked up the definition.
Okay. Before you looked up, tell us what the actual definition is. I want to hear what everybody thinks the definition is.
All right. A guilty pleasure is something.
No.
Oh, you're gonna
not say it.
It's something.
And then I ask everybody else what they think it is.
You have to guess what the definition.
Yes, we're taking a quiz, and you're going to tell us our score at the end, whether we're right or wrong.
Sounds good.
Who can close it? I think a guilty pleasure is anything you would be embarrassed to like share with somebody, right? Something that maybe you do like on your own, and if you were to tell people about it, you'd be kind of embarrassed, cringy. That's my definition of a guilty pleasure.
All right, Casey?
I would say it's something that those people, whoever you want to define it, might think that you shouldn't do or that you should feel guilty about, but you feel secretly happy that you really like to do it anyway. Like, I'm not ashamed to tell anybody about my guilty pleasures. Like, I sort of like it.
Oh,
I'm excited to hear.
In the morning, right?
It's 10:33 a.m. and you're having Mountain Dew.
Get it.
Good for
Or
you.
when I go to the grocery store, am I going to get all of the new flavors of Oreos or Doritos every time? Even if I really like it, I'm going to get it. The Starlight Coke. Did I get the Starlight Coke? Of course. Did I know it's probably going to taste not like I'd ever want to drink it again? Of course. But what did I do? This is another way of I do guilty pleasures. I brought it into work and I made everybody else taste it along with me. So like I inoculate myself against the shame by making a herd, right? We're going to do this together. The lemmings of shame. I just feel way too much about myself. Anyway, that was a long answer to a short question. Ryan, what do you think a guilty pleasure is?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Casey. I actually agree with Casey on this. I think it's something that, maybe it's a combination. It's either something you do feel guilty about doing, but you enjoy doing, or something that people think you should feel guilty about for doing, and you do it anyway because you don't feel guilty about it. But it's also probably something into that situation where you're not advertising it, not because you feel guilty about it necessarily, but you just don't want to put up with everybody's criticism.
Yeah, because as a society, we sometimes shame those things, even if 90% of the population likes it or wants to do it. Or
right.
Yeah.
That's why Casey doesn't tell me things that he likes oftentimes.
Yeah.
He thinks I'll shame him for him.
You 90% of the time. Yeah.
90 to 95% of it. Oh, hey. So Emily, what is
I don't know
actually?
if the actual definition even really matters. If colloquially this is what we think
No,
it is,
no, no.
but
I think
you
it's
guys
a
are
good
all real close.
baseline.
So a guilty pleasure is something. Here, I'm going to read the definition, but I'm going to paraphrase it. The guilty pleasure is something like a film, television piece of music, or something that you do that you enjoy, despite understanding that it's generally not held in high regard, or that it may seem unusual or weird to other people.
Okay.
Okay. I have another one.
Yeah, tell us.
So last weekend I went or this week I went and had a mani-pedi.
That's like an indulgence. So I also looked up the difference between guilty pleasure, indulgences, and vices, right?
Okay.
Vices are biblical, right? It's like...
It's just nice being like the only guy in the nail salon.
Is it great? Do they pamper you?
Oh yes, they're it's great. Well, yeah. Anyway, it's an experience, and I'm like, oh yeah, I am loving this. I'm sitting right by the window. I am loving it. You know, the woman next to me is kind of going. And of course, because I can't not like talk about it. As she's getting, you know, she's talking to the person painting her nails, and I'm like, oh, should I get that color too? Which then, you know, she's a few decades older than me, and her eyes go big. The nail technician is like, "Ooh, maybe," because they were bright green. It was actually this color. Anyway,
that's amazing.
And great, your feet feel so good after, and so do your hand. Like, because especially in the winter, and then, you know, they rub, they do like the scrub, and they do the wax thing where it makes your hands soft and your feet soft and stuff. Yeah.
Do they have little pedicure slippers for you to walk out with, or do you bring flip flops to be prepared to walk out with?
Oh, they let you sit for long enough, and then you can just put your socks.
God, I can never sit for that long.
My one has a full bar. Not to be a one-upper, but it's pretty amazing. I know. I go
a one-upper. That's a dude. You're destroyed.
They get my mimosa ready for me the second they see me walk in. It's pretty amazing.
I bet they love you.
Okay. So for Casey, his guilty pleasures, is it Mountain Dew or Diet Mountain Dew?
Diet Mountain Dew. I prefer to eat my calories and not drink them, but you know.
Okay. And mani-pedis at a place that doesn't have a bar in it. All right. How about you, Emily? What are some of your guilty pleasures? Or well, tell me before you tell me that. What kind of definition, when you think of guilty pleasures, do you?
Well, so I had to like move my list around once I realized that some things were just like indulgences, things I like to do, but that no one would really feel guilty about, I think. But they're just like a little excess. And then vices are they really are a different category, and they are biblical. Like all of the things that you think of when you think of the Bible and things you're not supposed to do: greed and anger, envy, lust, gluttony, pride, and sloth. And there are at least 3 of those that I was like, whoa. Lots of things under those lists, and those are the ones I'm not going to be talking about today.
I will take gluttony and sloth, please.
But,
sound like the ingredients to a great party.
And then I felt bad for sloths. Like, did they get that name from the Bible? Like, what's wrong with sloth? Poor little sloths. They're so cute. They're allowed to be lazy. But using handicap bathrooms was one of mine. I always check to make sure there's no one else that wants to use it. But they're so big, and they're usually
How do you
useless,
go about
so
checking? Just out of curiosity?
Cleaner. I tend to think that they're cleaner, and sometimes if they're real fancy, they have their own sink and soap dispenser. Don't shame me. I will not share. I think I'm done sharing my list, but that was one of them.
Oh, no. One more. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Scheduling an appointment with a realtor to see a house when you totally could not afford it ever, and you're basically wasting their time. I do not do this, but have done it in the past and feel bad about it. But I think wasting people's time is a major guilty pleasure. I think a lot of people have it. I'm really against it, but I have done it.
Aren't you just giving them a training opportunity to practice?
I love that.
That is really good way to look at it.
I can help you rationalize most things. So if you have any guilt about any guilty pleasures, call me. We'll work it through.
I'll send you my whole list. You can send me the rationalizations.
I have a committee, and we will get you a complete rationalization, like level 1, 2, and 3. It's great.
Thank you. And then I did have a few that I think apply to most of the population. I'm not confessing that I do these things, but they're like guilty pleasures that people have that we're shamed about, like cleaning your ears with Q-tips. It's really frowned upon from what I hear from my doctor.
So I'm on TikTok, and a doctor was like, "Hey, I know we're not supposed to put Q-tips in our ears," and he takes the Q-tip, and he's like, "But it feels so good."
Even they agree. Even
so
they
a doctor, this doctor recommended. Nice.
like a TikTok doctor.
TikTok doctor. They never lie to you. That's what I like about them.
Yeah.
Never. Everything's true on TikTok.
That's one of my guilty pleasures is TikTok now. I had never been on TikTok until the pandemic, and now I'm fully immersed. Yeah, addicted.
Yep.
It's hard to get away from it.
How about you, Jessica?
So my biggest one would be the Real Housewives franchise. That horrific reality TV. It literally is like my reprieve from the real world. I like to just soak in and I watch all of them from New York to OC. I mean, I could go on for days about the Real Housewives. So
if you were going to recommend one season of it, which location would you recommend?
Ooh, tough question.
I'm interested in Salt Lake City, but haven't delved in yet. But is that hands down?
Hands down, probably. They've only done 2 seasons. Second season was better than the first, but both of them are worth the watch. I'd say some of my top ones, like maybe I'm a little biased because Jersey is out right now, but I love the New Jersey ladies. Not bad just because Erica Jane is everything, and her drama last season is I just can't get enough of it. So yeah, even my children know if they walk in and Housewives is on, like the bedroom could be on fire and they will turn around and hit the room. Like, this is mom time. Get the hell out. I don't want anyone in my peripheral. I need some wine. I need my Housewives, and I need pure silence in the house. So yeah, pretty much all.
Awesome. Any more that you thought of? And I not that I'm pushing back here, but I'm going to push back a little bit. Is the Housewives popular enough that it really is a guilty pleasure under one of those definitions? Like, people are going to be like, "Oh, you watch that garbage?" Because it's like really popular, though, right?
I don't know. I'm a little ashamed of you for watching it. So I mean, I don't know.
Maybe loving it as much as I do. It's one thing to watch it. It's another thing to be so invested.
Yeah, usually I think reality TV shows, a lot of them are talked about in the general parlance as if there's some sort of guilty pleasure type shame attached to it or whatever. Yeah, I offered to my friends, like, I will be a cultural liaison to the Salt Lake City Real Housewives, but none of them taken me up on it.
It's so good. I mean, I don't slum it with like The Bachelor. I'm not. I mean, I have boundaries.
You don't want to be a Bachelor person. My God.
Okay, so I will tell you, I had some friends that used to live where I did, but they moved away. But for one season of The Bachelor, I did go over and watch it, and I mocked it incessantly, but I also watched all of the episodes with them.
So do you get it? Do you get why people are into it?
Yeah, I think I think most of these shows like that is like, it's just interpersonal drama. It's like why people like to watch other people make crazy, stupid decisions. It's why reality TV is so much fun. You're like, oh my gosh, watch those people. Train wreck, don't do it. Oh, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I think most of us live orders of magnitude less dramatic than that, but it's fun to watch someone do the things that you're like, oh, I thought about flipping the tables in that restaurant that one time, and now I've seen someone actually do it. So I think there's a bit of that. I think it's the Big Brother thing, because it's also slightly manufactured drama. I'll probably get in trouble for saying that because the producers sort of, engineer some fun things.
No.
But also, I think interesting about like The Bachelor and many of these other ones is like the stuff that's around the show is just as important as the show. Like all of the commentary and the talking about it, and like, is it appropriate? It's like this sort of pseudo cultural back and forth where people is it good or bad that people are doing X, Y, and Z, and so then you have like this discussion of. And so I think it's sort of like gossiping about those other people rather than gossiping about people in your life, but sort of outsource it.
Nice.
I have these crazy friends that I watch on TV, but I don't have to hang out and they don't have to come over to my house.
All right, fair enough.
What about you?
Well, my guilty pleasure, and I don't know. Lately, I've been really into listening to Nicki Minaj.
Oh.
I think she's really good, and I didn't get it before.
That's not a guilty pleasure.
That's cool.
Okay, well, good.
Way to catch up, Ryan.
What's that? What'd you say, Jessica?
I said, way to catch up. All of
This
us.
is the reality. I'm about a good 10 to 15 years behind everybody else.
Can you sing us a few bars of her favorite song that you like?
Oh yes, I could. I won't, but I could. But no, so yeah, I'm 10 to 15 years behind. But like, let's be real honest. Nicki Minaj does not think of me when she's writing a song.
I don't know.
And well,
Don't sell yourself short.
right. No, I think there is like an outside chance that she is. It's not like a really good
or
outside.
someone that looks like you, someone that is you, even if she doesn't know you personally.
Yeah, we've never met. And it's not because of me. Like, I haven't avoided her, but we just haven't. So I think that she probably has the idea of like the perfect guy, and that might be me.
Yeah.
Like, she just doesn't know my name yet. And I really like the songs she wrote for me about 10 to 12 years ago. They're really good.
What song is that?
It's so listen, the album that is amazing, I'll stand by that. I don't care who knows it, is Pink Friday Roman Reloaded. I personally have the deluxe edition because I roll like that. And it's an awesome album. Like, so she probably doesn't write songs for me, but and like when I heard her on the radio or whatever before, like 10 years ago or more recently, I was thinking, it's not for me. I'm not going to spend a lot of time getting into it. But then about a month ago, I was listening to something. I'm like, oh, that's actually a really, really good song. And so I've been listening to Nicki Minaj. Thank you, Nicki.
Get it, Nikki?
Yes.
I think it actually is for you or anybody else that wants to buy her music, right? That's what artists do.
Correct.
Buy it up.
I'm not going to go to a concert.
Do you remember she had Miley Cyrus?
What's that?
Do you remember the beef she had with Miley Cyrus?
Oh, I know nothing other than I've listened to the album.
Tell us, Jessica.
What she's done in her life. She could be canceled right now. I don't know. She could be like the biggest star in the world right now. I don't know.
She's pretty big. She's pretty big.
But talk to me about where she was at like 10 years ago.
I think she has baby daddy drama. Like, I think she got hooked up with a guy that more things have come out about. I don't know.
Does that mean it's not going to work out for me or in her, or is it more likely to work out for me and her? I don't.
Right. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I think he has a little bit of a history that absolutely still be in the running.
What's the beef between Nicki and Miley?
Kind of like during, I think, a Grammys. The Grammys that Miley Cyrus went like real all in, with like, had to have been,
was it with that guy? Was there a guy singing too at the same time?
Yeah, and he got in trouble because he kind of stole some of the tunes and he got sued for it. What was his name?
Thicke?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And yeah, there was like, that's where it came out was the Grammys.
I really like the game of guessing what Jessica's thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is fun.
There was this thing and it happened, and then you know who I'm talking about. Oh, yeah.
Emily always does.
I do. Yes. I get it, Jess.
Yeah, I get you, Jessica. Like I had no problems.
Get it together, Ryan.
I guess it's just me. Jessica's family never understood her. Now she has proof.
Well, don't we all grow up thinking that our families don't understand us? Like, isn't that just, part of being a teenager, especially? Or maybe a 20-something or a 30-something.
A 30-something, Casey?
I was going progressively through the decades.
I just noticed that you stopped at the 30s.
We all
Some of us
stop.
have
Well, I
gotten
think
over that
at
threshold.
your 40s, do you actually care as much anymore?
Right.
I think when you're in your 20s, you're like, people, and it could be your family, whoever, don't understand me, and therefore, I'm aggrieved. I think by the time you hit your 40s, you're like, whether they understand me or not, I'm not aggrieved anymore. It just is what it is, right?
You realize they're going to die before you because the people who didn't get you are always the ones that are older. So you're like, whatever. I just have like 20 or 30 more years to put up with this.
I'm going to wait you out. I will win.
And then you eventually get old enough to be like, maybe I just don't understand them. And then you're like, and maybe that's okay, or maybe I don't care, maybe they don't care. Yeah. 40s are kind of a reshuffling of priorities, I think.
Agreed.
I will say I've been 40 for exactly a month now. And
Congratulations.
thank you. And what they say about like giving less fucks once you're 40. Sorry, I don't know if we can use that level of profanity on our podcast, but I am. And it's so very true. Like that is the most magical thing to happen at 40 for me is I just don't give that many fucks anymore. Like it's
Is
not.
there of like it just slowly has decreased?
Yeah, like my son had a birthday party, and so I've always been like, write down everybody's name and what present they got, and you're writing them a thank you card. I don't give a fuck. I don't give.
Good for you.
I threw one hell of a birthday party. You are also welcome for that. Like I don't give any fucks about that anymore. So like, yeah, just small things that used to be a big deal, not so much of a big deal anymore.
So I shouldn't expect a thank you card. Like, is this how you're telling me I'm not getting a thank you card?
There.
Well, I hope he liked the present I sent because it was the nicest one he had.
He loves it.
Thank you.
So wait, what other guilty pleasures do you have, Ryan?
Oh, that's it. Just me and Nikki. Nikki and I. Is that the proper way to say it?
All right.
There's more. I have some more questions, but before we do, we're going to take a quick break now. All right, we're back. So, we were talking about guilty pleasures, and you had some more things on the list, Emily.
Oh, I did. Not necessarily that I wanted to share, but if I am on the spot and I need to, I will. I like to eat the cores of pineapple in the shower. Where
Wow.
I cannot, because they're right. Pineapple cores, like if it's a nice sweet pineapple and the core is so good, like, yeah, you can like chew it over the sink, or maybe people don't chew them. I think they're amazing. It's like eating candy. But if you do it in the shower, then it's fine because you can just rinse off your hands, right? You can cut this part if you need to.
That has lots of layers to it.
I think everyone should try it. See what it's like.
Deathly
We tried
silence.
the pink pineapples last
Emily,
week.
Jessica comes up. Well, there's layers.
So maybe I should be embarrassed about that one, is what I'm hearing from everyone.
Okay.
I've never even eaten a pineapple core, so like I would start there.
Well, I don't think so. Notice that she didn't say eating it; she said gnawing on it.
Yeah, 'cause it's not like you like chew it off. You eat it like a corn on the cob.
Oh wow.
I am feeling embarrassed. I wish I would not have shared that with you guys.
Probably everybody does
I'm gonna
this.
turn off my list now so I don't accidentally share anything
Oh
else.
no, now you're sharing the whole list.
No, I love it. I know this is great because you know what? If someone needs to like sneak into the shower with a pineapple core and turn it on where no one can see them and they just sit there in the steam and by all means, like sometimes you just might need that moment. I'm in full support of that, Emily.
Thank you so much.
It does make me love you more, I will say that. But now I need to hear everything on it.
The phone has been put away.
The phone has been put away. It's gone. I'm going to add a password to that note so nobody can open it.
Add a password to it and then forget about it. Forget the password. Yeah. Jessica, you said that you had one more thing you wanted to say about the soft serve.
Maybe we should note Jessica's moved locations due to her cord change.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jessica has changed locations due to her
I
cord
know.
change.
I can't keep my phone charged to save my life. I apologize.
TikTok.
So, as I read your Prepare for Summer, Find the Best Soft Serve Dip Cone, the first story to come to mind, and I will not call this individual out, but like somebody within my social group, not currently present, shared a story about
That
how
could
his-
literally be everyone in the world. You're in a room by yourself.
You have a big
I mean,
social
on this
circle.
call. I'm not saying it's any of you, but like it's somebody.
Oh, I'm
live.
saying your definition is broad enough that it could be us.
Well, this individual is going to know who they are. That is for sure. So he shares the story of how his girlfriend surprising him with like adult time purchased the shell syrup, you know, the magic
Oh, no.
right?
That should be
Just-
done in the shower,
But
too.
not- exactly. It's a beautiful segue to pineapple core showers. So he describes it almost instantly hardening. So, right? Like and then to
Are
remove
you talking
it,
about the shell?
huh?
Are you still talking about the shell?
Yeah. Have you had the
Right?
magic shell? It really is delicious on ice cream, but probably not for the human skin. And it what he describes is almost like now a waxing section, like to like try to get it out of like chest hair and
no.
whatnot. And so I just will never
That's
ever
not.
think
What?
of
Why
like,
was it on his chest? I don't
How,
do I have to
I
describe
have
what
concerns about
Just-
his.
Emily's idea of sexy fun time with magic topping is putting it on ice cream. She has no idea why it would end up on his chest.
Or another I think Casey and I get it. I don't know.
Normally, you're like, okay. Let's have a.
We're gonna let
chemistry
Jessica finish the story.
Magic shell topping is you put it at room temperature. It's liquid. You put it on the ice cream, and that's where it hardens over the ice cream because it's cold. And then as you eat it, it melts in your mouth. So like if it becomes hard when you apply it to someone's person, like what's their core body temperature?
Right. And this individual is really, so that's an excellent question. I mean, it's science that we're talking now. Like now it's actual science. But individual is so hairy that like anytime that he doesn't have his shirt on, like we always joke, like take your sweater off. It's so hairy. So his inner core, you must always run hot. So I don't know how it hardened so quickly, but I will never have a dipped ice cream cone without thinking about that story for the rest of my life. And now maybe all of you will also.
I think that if you've experienced that or if you know that person closely, that is the only excuse not to enjoy a dipped ice cream cone.
Yes, yeah.
Because I can see how that would permanently scar you for the rest of your life. All
So
right.
are those two still together?
No.
I
No. They're-
was gonna be like,
I might have been what broke them, actually. I didn't dig much deeper after that, but quite the story.
Oh my gosh.
All right. I have some theories, but I'm going to keep them to myself for now. All right. So one final question that I have for all, and then we can call it a day. I'm going to describe a scenario that happened to me. I want to know how you all react. So I was at a fast food place ordering something that I've ordered, like a regular order. And so when they told me the total of it, it was different than what I was used to hearing. And their screen that tells you what you've ordered was out of order. So what would you do in that sort of situation? Do you like ask them to repeat it to you, or do you just like take your chances that like something, just to like see what they thought you said and ordered and get that?
Just keep driving through. Don't mess with the drive-through people. They have your food. You want them to love you. You want them to have good thoughts about you. I mean, they are preparing your meal sight unseen. So I actually I ask them how their day's going. I am the nicest person in the world to the drive-through people because I have a lot of fears about what they're doing to me.
I totally agree with you, Jessica. Number one, that's amazing that you remember the price of any, like, I don't even know. Milk I don't know. Is milk like, I don't know how much milk is. I don't want to guess. But I agree. You just go through and you just say, thank you so much. And you get your food. And if it's wrong, you eat what you get.
Yep.
That's all.
So I wasn't even looking at it from the standpoint of, I don't want to piss the people off. I was thinking of like, this might be a fun adventure. Oh. I have no idea what they just put in my bag.
I look at fast food ordering like that because, I usually am pretty nice to the people because I appreciate someone cooking for me, number one. But number two, it's like the lottery. Like you go through and you say, hey, I want this. And if you screwed it up and didn't, speak clearly or whatever, then you earned whatever you got. It's like, woohoo. And if you have to drive back through for another whatever, then it's fun. Sometimes I need a little more adventure in my life. That probably says more about me than I want, but sure, hey. You should try an experiment, Ryan. You should now go to the fast food and be like, hey, I like one of those, and just see what they get. It's kind of like that Starbucks thing where they like sort of make up a way to spell your name. I think they do that on purpose. So they just kind of write whatever random thing on there. So it's like that at, fast food. And you could say, who interprets the better? McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, like all of the Taco Bell.
There you go.
Or you could say, hey, I have $10. Give me what you got. Give me anything you want.
Whatever you want. That's for $10.
What did you do?
I just kept going through. They threw in an extra burrito.
Nice.
Yeah. So it was like
that you paid for because the price
well,
was different,
I paid for it, but
like
I didn't order it.
It was great.
I got to eat it. Like it's way too much food, but I'm like, okay, I'll eat it. That's an extra burrito. It's a free burrito. Right. Well, not free.
Not free
An unintended burrito is a better burrito than an intended burrito. Yeah. We all know this.
Yeah. It's a nice price.
Because it is different. Like that happens at a fast food place rather than like the furniture store, right? It's not like we'd say they threw in an extra couch that I also had to pay for. Look, it's more than my room can fit, but hey.
Hey, and if I was ordering for other people, I might be more concerned. But if it's just myself, it's a little adventure throughout the day. We'll see what the hell they threw in there or not.
Oh, we should talk about that sometime, like eating in groups, like that whole negotiation of eating in groups about ordering, how long you order, who orders what, all that stuff. That's
going out to eat with somebody who's on Whole30. Ugh.
That's been you, Jessica, for like 5 years.
I had to eat when I'm Whole30.
Like to the server. Look, I have no idea what's going on over there. Just whatever.
All right. Well, that sounds like a great idea for next time. Next time, we'll be talking about all the ins and outs of dining etiquette in a group. Perfect.
Beautiful.
And I will bring I was a server for 7 years perspective.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that.
I think we've all worked some food servicey stuff, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm a sandwich artist.
Yay! I'm excited to talk about this.
Nice. Looking forward
Jessica's so Casey's going to have some stories from his 7-year serving experience. Jessica's going to have some sandwich art. We'll have to come up with something.
Ice cream, Baskin Robbins, forever.
All right. Okay.
It'll-
Well, thanks everybody. That's it. And we'll do it again next week. All right.
Bye.
Bye.